When the year began, Sony announced cancellations for multiple live service projects, including those from Bluepoint Games and Bend Studio. Which is when everyone learned that Bluepoint, renowned for Demon's Souls' remake, had wasted its last several years. On the WB game side, servers for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and MultiVersus had shut down with little attention and pity. Electronic Arts would also announce that it's shutting down servers for Anthem, which is the first reminder in a while that it actually still exists. Microsoft's Halo Infinite recently entered maintenance mode, a far cry from plans to become the initially promised start of the next 10 years of Halo. Of course, even newer titles weren't safe. Remedy's FBC Firebreak debuted disappointingly, resulting in heavy losses and the studio's CEO stepping down. Even on a smaller scale, games like Wildgate and Jump Space, despite launching with some positive buzz, have since fallen by the wayside in player counts. Granted, games like Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6 remain standouts. The former offered an excellent extraction shooter experience in a pretty barren market. Meanwhile, the latter marked the first mainline Battlefield title in years that fans actually enjoyed, despite its many warts, including a single-player campaign. Titles like Peak and Repo went on to become massive co-op successes. There's also Split Fiction, which showcased Hazelight's talent in once again delivering a compelling co-op story with fun gameplay. However, the past year, perhaps more so than others, has reinforced the importance of single-player games. Despite selling PS5 consoles by the tens of millions, Sony outright promised a major AAA single-player title each year because, surprise surprise, it's a major selling point for the console. Thankfully, it delivered with not one, but two incredible titles: Kojima Productions' Death Stranding 2 on the Beach and Sucker Punch's Ghost of Yotei. Both games were building off already established titans, and yet they managed to exceed expectations. Death Stranding 2 confirmed that Hideo Kojima's signature blend of quirkiness and madness when it comes to storytelling was still intact. However, it also improved on so many other fundamental aspects from the original, including the world design, gunplay, stealth, and pacing. Meanwhile, Ghost of Yotei, while retaining the same combat fundamentals, spiced it up with new additions, like multiple weapon types, disarming and throwing weapons. Its open world also received excessive praise, as activities were naturally laid out and seamlessly connected in ways that made it feel alive. Then again, it wasn't just Sony that realized it had to return to what brought it to the dance to begin with. Konami released not one, but two well-received and successful titles in its long-running franchises, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and Silent Hill F. It also reaffirmed its commitment to the long-term future of both series, whether it's the desire to remake more Metal Gear Solid games, or its announcement of a Silent Hill 1 remake from Bloober Team. Of course, some of the other highly rated games of the year have been single-player titles. Clair Obscur took the industry by storm, and even if there are arguments about how indie it really is, it's received universal praise for its combat, storytelling, and world. The fact that it received the most nominations in the Game Awards history and won more than its fair share is just the cherry on top of it all. However, it's not alone when it comes to other nominees, which are also predominantly single-player, such as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is packed with memorable quests, personable characters, and tons of way to roleplay your version of Henry. It's still unbelievable how the development team effectively beat Bethesda at its own game in terms of attention to detail, reactivity, and fidelity with fewer resources. Of course, for those who wanted something more lighthearted, there's always Donkey Kong Bonanza, a magical 3D platforming experience from the Super Mario Odyssey team, which mixes the traditional collectathon gameplay loop with the absolute freedom to destroy everything. And the crazy thing is that these don't even represent a fraction of the best single-player games this year. You have indie efforts like Blue Prince, which is unlike anything seen before, a roguelike puzzler where you can arrange the layout of a house from a selection of rooms to reach the mythical 46th room. Team Cherry's Hollow Knight Silksong arrived more than 6 years after its initial announcement, and blew away all expectations. It was so highly anticipated that almost every digital storefront crashed as soon as it was available to purchase. Now, that's not even accounting for the likes of Hades 2, Sectori, Keep Driving, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, Starvaders, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, Sword of the Sea, Ender Magnolia, Trails in the Sky First Chapter, Absalom, The Drifter, Ball X Pit, Bionic Bay, Look Outside. I mean, come on, the list really does go on and on. Even if you sat down and only tried to play through all the incredible titles released this year, you would have more than enough to sustain you through 2026. However, that won't be necessary. In a twist that no one saw coming, the most anticipated games of next year are, you guessed it, single-player titles. Grand Theft Auto 6 is leading the charge, and that's all because of its story mode, since we know nothing at all about how it will handle GTA Online. Resident Evil Requiem crossed 1 million wishlists just weeks after its announcement, and looks poised to be the biggest game in the franchise by far. Marvel's Wolverine is, well, a Wolverine title in every sense of the word. Based on Insomniac's success with Spider-Man and immaculate track records, you can bet it's going to be another huge success. You also can't forget Saros, Housemarque's follow-up to Returnal, which looks to expand upon it in all the right ways, while maintaining its creepy environmental and enemy designs. Heck, even Microsoft's single-player offerings in 2026 look good, with Fable, Gears of War E-Day, and Forza Horizon 6 to look forward to. We'll wait and see how Halo Campaign Evolved fares, but if nothing else, it does look very good. Compare this to future live service multiplayer offerings like, say, Fair Games, which has no buzz or even intrigue. Heck, rumors claim that it may even be cancelled before launch. Sony hasn't outright backed out of such titles yet, but it's definitely much more careful after sustaining heavy losses. Now, it's not like the business model has no future whatsoever. Where Winds Meet is technically a live service game, but it offers a massive single-player component that's only going to get bigger. Ananta has generated buzz for essentially being anime GTA. However, while publishers still seek to delve into the live service space for that sweet recurring revenue from microtransactions, it's single-player games that continue to drive the industry forward in terms of things like storytelling, immersion, and gameplay. And customers are responding in kind. A recent survey by Ampere Analysis revealed that the majority of players in Japan, the UK, and the United States preferred single-player games over multiplayer, though younger players skewed more towards the latter. Personally, I could be the least bothered to remember anything noteworthy that happened in Destiny 2 this year, but meeting Minoko and traveling to confront the Paintress at her monolith, well, trekking across the mountains of Mexico and taking in the sights, how about whatever the heck was going on with Hinako in the other world in Silent Hill F? All these moments will probably stay with me forever, and deservedly so. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.